Hello, I'm Jonathan Newman. I'll be representing Zephyrhills High School for this TEDx. My topic is the Great Purge of Russia. So to begin with, the main man is Stalin. Who really was he? Well, he was a very, very paranoid man. Some would even say he's downright crazy. He was also a very power-hungry man who would stop at nothing to secure his absolute power over all of Russia and the USSR. His rule was that of an absolute rule, and anything he said was law. No one was above it, well, except for himself, of course, but that's because that's how he wanted it. He wanted to be absolute over everybody else, no one stronger than him. However, to look good in the eyes of his people, while still maintaining a positive reputation, he had to spread around mass amounts of propaganda, all of which was in the like of either posters, billboards, advertisements, and most of it was not true. Because a lot of it said, Stalin's a great leader, Stalin's a good person, you should listen to him. In reality, a lot of this was not true. There were many fake claims, many fake advertisements about him, all to keep the people quiet about what he was really wanting. As his paranoia grew and his lust for power grew even more, he began to employ something called secret police. These police, contrary to their name, were not very secretive in their acts, as they went around publicly hunting down and executing any sort of revolutionary groups or anybody that wanted to speak out against Stalin. These were the people that were meant to silence the voices who wanted to speak out against injustice. As Stalin got even more, well, crazy during his rule, he even suspected his own loyal generals of treason. He believed them in their vast military power that he gave them. He thought they would try to stage an uprising. They had the power, they had the standing, and they had the army to do it. However, Stalin feared this greatly. To fix it, he ended up executing a good sum of his generals. Not many of them actually survived the purge because they were one of the initial targets of Stalin due to their position of power that he gave them in the beginning. As time went on, he needed to improve agricultural and industry production in Russia. To do this, instead of a more peaceful act of encouragement or reward systems, he instead forcefully took hundreds of miles worth of land from poor farmers and peasants and turned it into publicly collectivized land on which they would then be forced to work. Many of these peasants and farmers refused to give up their land due to the fact that it was privately owned before. They were making money off of it. They made their livings off of it. That's how they lived. And Stalin wanted to take that all and give it away. Most of which of them didn't want to give it up. So to fix this, Stalin used gulags, also known as work or death camps, where many people were sent. According to Russiapedia, actually, there is an estimated between 3 and 15 million people that were sent to camps like this, just for sheerly either speaking out, saying he was wrong, or just not following a simple order given by some guard. All in all, though, it doesn't all end in tragedy, where Stalin sets a horrible example of directly what not to do as a leader. Khrushchev comes into power after Stalin's death in 1953, and he is elected and renowned as a much more fair leader. It's still communism, there's still oppression, but it's much better than it was before. Khrushchev earns the respect of his people by denouncing Stalin on several different occasions, denouncing his Stalinistic form of rule through murder and genocide of their very own people, their very own citizens. This earns Khrushchev a good 20 years or so before he too is attempted to be overthrown. Communism doesn't work. And all in all, that's where Russia is today, as they continue to develop both economically and technologically as the leaders continue through the cycle. I'm Jonathan Newman. Thank you for coming to this TEDx speech.